You may think you already know your origin story, your family, your roots, your heritage. But what if there is a chapter no one ever told you about? A chapter not written in textbooks or family traditions, but encrypted in your DNA, a biological time capsule. Inside our cells lives a record of migrations, survival, and unexpected connections across continents and centuries, and today, we follow one of those mysterious threads, a genetic link between two groups you'd never expect. Jewish communities and the Filipino people. At first glance, their histories seem worlds apart. One shaped by ancient Middle Eastern traditions and global diaspora, the other born from island seafarers, Asian kingdoms, and Pacific empires, but genetics has a way of revealing stories the world forgot. And this one begins with a faint signal, a small but unmistakable piece of DNA appearing in modern ancestry tests. A whisper that history left behind. A clue that speaks of escape, migration, and survival. A forgotten pathway connecting the Levant to the Pacific. Before we unlock it, let's understand the tools. Your DNA is like an ancient manuscript, written in A, C, G, and T, a code passed down through thousands of generations. Scientists look for unique markers, genetic signatures, to trace where our ancestors traveled and who they mixed with. Two of the most powerful clues come from Y-DNA, inherited from father to son. Mitochondrial DNA, passed down from mother to all children. These markers are grouped into haplogroups, ancient branches of the human family tree. Now, let's open two very different chapters. The Filipino DNA story and the Jewish DNA journey. The Filipino genetic legacy. The Filipino genome is a story carved by the ocean. Over 4,000 years ago, Austronesian navigators sailed from Taiwan, guided only by stars and ocean currents. They reached the Philippines, then spread as far as Madagascar and Easter Island. Their descendants carry haplogroup markers still found in Taiwan and across the Philippine Islands today, but the islands didn't stand still. Chinese traders arrived. Indian influences followed. And Spanish rule added a lighter, but present, European imprint, usually under 5% in most Filipinos. Beneath all of this lies the ancient heritage of the Negrito peoples, rooted in the region for tens of thousands of years. It is a tapestry of Asia and the Pacific, and in one small thread, Europe and the Middle East quietly enter the story. The Jewish genetic journey. Jewish ancestry traces back to the Middle East, preserved through centuries by strong cultural continuity and endogamy. Haplogroups like J and E anchor Jewish paternal lines to the ancient Levant. Over time, Jewish communities formed across the world. Sephardic in Spain and Portugal, Mizrahi across the Middle East and North Africa, and Ashkenazi in Europe, but our clue lies with the Sephardic Jews of Iberia. In 1492, Spain issued a decree, convert to Christianity or leave forever. Many fled. Others stayed and converted publicly while secretly maintaining Jewish identity, living in fear of the Inquisition. And where did some of these hidden Jewish families go? To the furthest edge of the Spanish Empire. Including the remote Spanish-controlled islands we now call the Philippines, they carried their faith in secret, and unknowingly carried a genetic legacy that still whispers today. Two histories intertwined by DNA. Think about what this means, a decision made in a Spanish palace in 1492. Echoes in the DNA of people living in Manila centuries later. A journey born of persecution created genetic footprints across oceans. Identity is not a simple percentage chart. It's a mosaic, a living archive of ancestors we may never know by name. Our world has always been connected, not just by trade ships and migration routes, but by bloodlines that cross borders and eras without passports or maps. Your DNA is a history book. A record of courage, movement, faith, and survival. And sometimes it reveals connections that remind us humanity is one long, intertwined family. So, what hidden stories are written in your DNA? What unexpected ancestors might be waiting in your genetic past? Share your discoveries in the comments. And if you're fascinated by the history inside our genes, subscribe and join us on this journey through human origins.